Hey guys, so we have a moon in Pisces today preparing to set us up for our new moon in Aries that is coming at us on the 1st of April, the reset of the astrological clock. Looking forward to that. That is really going to set us forth on a whole new course over the course of this next 12 months. But what this is meaning for us right now in terms of the aspects that we actually have in play and just the general energy that's going on is we are in the closing of a chapter, the turning of a page, the preparation period for beginning something really truly new with this new moon in Aries that is coming up, and really letting a lot of things go in the energy that we have going on today. So let's jump into the report, you guys. Let's talk about everything that we have going on as we count down this last couple of days in our 2021 astrological lunar cycle. Welcome back to my channel, everybody. Today is Wednesday, March 30th, 2022. My name is Aubrey, and this is your astrological outlook of the day. I apologize for my absence yesterday. I just had a lot of things going on, and I couldn't make the time to get the video done, and I apologize for that. But honestly, it wasn't that much of a day to miss. We had the moon in Pisces yesterday. I'm going to be talking again about the moon in Pisces today. There were not a whole bunch of specific aspects going on yesterday, but there are today. So let's talk about everything before us now. We have the moon in Pisces today, transiting Pisces, preparing to move into Aries, which will be setting us up for our new moon, this reset of the astro clocks that's going to happen. It happens every year when the sun and the moon align in Aries. That is when we truly begin our astrological year, the way that we look at it from the perspective of astrologers. So that's what we're moving into. And so this is like the very, very, very tail end of not only our Pisces cycle that we're in right now, but also this 2021 astrological year. And to close it out, because we have the moon in Pisces heading towards the end of Pisces, the moon moved into Pisces yesterday. This is also bringing the moon today into an alignment with Jupiter and Neptune, who are constantly creeping closer into conjunction in the sign of Pisces as well. Now, this does a lot of different things for us. Pisces energy has sort of two very distinct and oppositional polarities that it operates out of. On one hand, it is like extremely spiritually connected and like fused with all that is and the spiritual planes of reality, and just this really profound sense of knowing and understanding and empathy and compassion and like high octave heart energy, unconditional love. But on the other side, these are two fish represented in the symbolism swimming in opposite directions. This can be like illusion and delusion and confusion and fantasy and like hypnosis and just being very unclear and a desire to escape and evade and run away from things. And so on one hand, there is this very strong likelihood and possibility when we have this Neptune Pisces energy operating, especially with the conjunction of Jupiter, of gaining this tremendous spiritual wisdom, spiritual insight, spiritual expansion of like spiritual truths and conscious like awareness on this whole other level. But on the other hand, it can also cause us to like really want to hide from reality or evade the circumstances or the difficulties that we might be facing, or, pull ourselves back, or just be stuck in some type of an illusion or a fantasy or a delusion or just this fog or not seeing things clearly. So these very two distinct octaves are always operating when we have the Pisces energy going on. Now, Jupiter's presence there is blowing things up and expanding things. And this is one thing that we're going to be dealing with throughout this 2022 year. This is a major feature of our new moon chart that's coming in on Friday, and also with the energy in play right now, but it will be carrying through all this year. This conjunction is not exact yet. And this is one of the aspects this year that is really helping to align us with this 222 frequency that is coming in from this 2022 year and bring us this expanded spiritual awareness and ability to connect and to co-create and to go through this energetic and vibrational transcendence right now that's associated with our progression into the age of Aquarius, and really be a very assisting factor in our collective hero's journey that we are going on right now, and that will also be a fundamental part of this year as we move into this age of Aquarius, as we move into this energy, and as we gain this self-mastery and really alchemize our own vibrations. This is another thing that is coming up this year, and I'm sorry that I'm like going on this tangent about Jupiter and Neptune and, the hero's journey in Chiron right now. And this is the energy that is coming at us. But I'm really just talking about this today because we have the moon coming into conjunction with Jupiter and Neptune, and the moon rules our emotions and our internal environment, our intuition, our soul, like what's really going on inside of us. Coming into this conjunction with Neptune and Jupiter. Now, on one hand, this can have us in all the feels. If you watched my Monday video, on Monday, we had a unique conjunction going on. We had Saturn, the moon, and Venus in an exact conjunction. And this perhaps could have been making it a little bit more difficult to relate to people, maybe like emotionally withheld, withdrawn, like suppressed, like feelings and expressions of love, maybe being like held back and just not all in the feels. But with the moon now aligning in the sign of Pisces with Jupiter and Neptune, this is definitely like an outpouring of emotion and compassion and that like high heart energy love, but it is also like strong calling to surrender and to release. And another thing, because of the dual nature of the Pisces energy with the moon here, Jupiter, Neptune, we want to be sure that we are not trying to escape from things, that we are not using like escapism as our like coping mechanism in this energy, because that is definitely a lower octave of the vibrations that are trying to come through to us right now. This is all about expansion and exposure and seeing the truth and gaining that higher conscious awareness and using that to really motivate our action moving forward, and not to sort of get caught in an illusion or a delusion that causes us to sort of run away from things or hide in things or overindulge in like substances and stuff like that to try to like escape the reality. With the moon there, that could be, it goes both ways, as I said, but definitely, on one hand, this is causing us perhaps to really come to a place emotionally where we're able to let things go and to surrender in some type of way. And this makes sense in the context of this chapter ending energy that we're in right now. Very, very strong closing out this year at the very, very tail end of, again, not only the Pisces cycle ruling surrender. Pisces is a sign that is ruling, a surrender back into all that is, a release. And also the very end of this entire year with Neptune and Jupiter, both rulers of Pisces. Jupiter's the original ancient ruler of Pisces. Neptune is the modern ruler of Pisces in the sign of Pisces in a conjunction. And not only that, Neptune is also in an exact trine to the South Node right now. The South Node also rules release. It rules what we're letting go of. It rules what we're moving away from, what we are graduating from and growing out of, essentially. And with Neptune, Jupiter in Pisces, Neptune in the exact sextile or the exact trine to the South Node in the sign of Scorpio. First of all, we're talking about a water sign trine here. So this is having to do with emotions and feelings generally. And then we have the moon in that alignment today, which is ruling our emotions and our feelings. So this is a very emotional energy that we're in today. But then we'll talk about the South Node in Scorpio. Scorpio is ruling emotions as well, but these are very, very deep, complex, painful emotions a lot of times. And so the way that I'm seeing this energy as we are closing out this year, as we are moving towards this new moon in Aries and this energetic reset and, this new lesson, this new phase of growth that is, again, very much this hero's journey that we are all collectively going on this year. This is a release of the toxic emotions and the painful emotions and the emotions that have kept us bound to an image of ourselves that is not in alignment with who we are becoming now. This is an ending of an era in a lot of ways. And, that's a metaphor for it truly being the end of an actual age, the age of Pisces. This year is really, energetically our first taste of the age of Aquarius and seeing it in our physical, like beginning to actually interact with it in our tangible experiences. 2021 was very much a very transitional year, and we are still in a year of transition for sure in 2022. But this year, things I feel are going to become just a little bit more tangible to us. And that may also be in terms of this expanded spiritual awareness and this expansion and conscious growth this awakening that we're going through that may help us to perceive and to connect to this incoming paradigm, to start working with it as well. It may be still more like ethereal, more on the 5D planes, but we're just gaining a clearer understanding and a clearer ability to see and interact and navigate with these new energies, as we are also simultaneously gaining this conscious spiritual awakening that is aligning us with them. So that may be one way that this energy is presenting itself to us throughout the course of this year. But as we close out 2021 to have these aspects coming into place, this is really like we are I've been talking about rebirth and recreating ourselves and in alignment with an authentic truth that has always been there, that maybe we have denied for a long period of time, and it's really coming online and we can't really resist it at this point. This is what we're moving towards. And it's like, in order to do that, we have to let go of the false narratives and the false, ingrained feelings and beliefs and emotions that we've held in regards or because of those false narratives, all this Neptune and Pisces energy that maybe we've been embodying throughout the course of our life, but now we are waking up and we're realizing that that is not who we are. That's never truly who we've been. And we are seeing ourselves in this new light and we are recreating ourselves in alignment with that. But in order to really, truly go through that process, kicking off with this new moon in Aries this year, we are having to shut the door. We are having to energetically and emotionally. This is not like something that we're physically doing really in this energy, because it is Pisces. It's in our imagination. It's in our unconscious. It's in our frequency and our vibration, and our emotional body is where this release is happening in this energy today. But it really very much so is, and it may be bringing up some very deep feelings, some very expansive emotions, again, like an outpouring of love or an outpouring of emotion or a feeling or compassion in some type of way, empathy. But on the other hand, we do need to watch a tendency to try to hide from the changes that are happening now. We really need to face them head on and be prepared and ready to surrender. That is such a Pisces theme: surrender and release these emotions that we've been carrying as a result of that, or that have produced a false narrative that we've been operating under. So this is definitely like we're getting ready to author a new script for ourselves to unfold into as we move forward. And this is the energy today and moving into tomorrow. Really today, though, that is allowing for that emotional release of the things that have kept us from seeing the truth of our own value, our own potential, and our own ability to take assertive action and moving forwards towards manifesting the new version of ourselves that we're recreating now. So actually very, very beautiful energy that we have closing out this cycle, very much related to this fresh start in this hero's journey. Now, again, I keep bringing up the hero's journey, and that is because right now we have the sun in Aries, and we also have Chiron in Aries, and the sun today is at 11 degrees of Aries. Chiron is at 13 degrees of Aries. So this is a 2-degree orb conjunction. This is a close conjunction, and it is going to be moving closer for the new moon that we have coming up. So Chiron rules the hero's journey, the wounded healer, teacher, master archetype. We're going to be talking about Chiron a lot this year, and I've been talking about Chiron a lot. Chiron is a very, very fundamental, critical part of our ability to make this shift into these new vibrations and into this new age. And it rules our ability to essentially go from a state of wounding and victimhood and trauma and alchemize these feelings within us and learn about them and gain wisdom and be able to transcend them within ourselves based on this wisdom that we've gained, and to heal ourselves and to overcome and to master these experiences and to become, therefore, the master of our own experiences and of our own reality based on the wisdom that we've gained and the healing that we've learned. And then the most crucial part of this whole process is that after we go through this hero's journey and we come to this place of self-awareness and self-mastery, we then become like this shining light or this guiding star to others who are traveling and navigating a similar path, and lead by example and teach others how to do the same thing in and of themselves. Because at the end of the day, it's on us. It's our responsibility to heal ourselves and to bring ourselves into this state of healing and growth and transcendence and ability to transmute our victimhood into a state of mastery, and then through our example help others along the same process. And one by one, this is how the collective of humanity actually heals our generations and ages of trauma that we've been subjected to. And this is also why we are breaking out of karmic loops and karmic cycles right now as a side effect of this hero's journey that just is organically happening within the collective of humanity. And this process is what enables us to come to the place energetically where we can build and create the age of Aquarius, because that happens through an energetic alignment that allows us to be in a place where we can manifest and co-create with God and universe based on this level of wisdom that we've gained, this experience, this mastery, and this enlightenment that we've come to, and the ability to heal ourselves and to just mature into this greater way of energetically interacting with the world around us. That is the process of creating the age of Aquarius and drawing in, magnetizing this fulfillment and this abundance and these soul connections as well that this 2022 year is trying to bring us. So it's really no surprise that closing out this year, we have the sun moving into conjunction with Chiron for our new moon in Aries. We are also going to have the sun in conjunction with Chiron. I highly suggest that all of us get acquainted with the idea and the prospect of going on a hero's journey this year and becoming the best versions of ourselves, because that is what this energy is pushing towards, and that is what is necessary for us to break through and begin creating this age of Aquarius this year in the midst of this conscious spiritual awakening that we also have going on. We're not on our own in this process. We are being massively, Jupiter and Neptune and Pisces, massively assisted by the hand of God, by the divine, by this awareness that we're gaining, these spiritual truths, these doors that are being unlocked, these secrets that are being revealed that are empowering us to be able to go on this hero's journey and to really come into this place of self-empowerment, self-mastery, self-knowledge, all of the age of Aquarian archetypes that we're heading into right now. So very inspiring actually to see the chart heading into the new moon in Aries. This is definitely indicating a release from the burdens, the emotional burdens of the past that have been creating some type of false narrative that we've been operating under. This is a destruction of illusion and an ability to let go of what has been tying us to it so that we can pursue this healing journey, this hero's journey that is trying to bring us into our highest potential so that we can manifest a life in alignment with our greatest fulfillment, like that we could ever, more than we could ever imagine. The miracles and the opportunities and the relationships, the connections, the soul fulfillment that's trying to come to us through this process. Amazing. And another aspect of this energy today, I should mention, there is still some element of us sort of being tested in this energy. And I say that because we actually have Venus and Mars straddling Saturn right now in the sign of Aquarius. Saturn is the teacher, the judge, the harsh disciplinarian, ruling testing and lessons and karma. And with Saturn as a midpoint in between these two planets today, themes of karmic lessons in relationships, testing our patience, testing our resolve, testing our endurance, and our ability to sustain and maintain the creative endeavors that we've been going on, continuing to pursue our passions and our desires in the face of difficulty, tests of faith also coming up. But this is specifically, I feel like, more so pertaining to either relationships that we are dealing with or that we are trying to pursue or that we are karmically intertwined with. This is also representing perhaps a release of toxic karmic relationships with Saturn and the South Node both being implicated in the chart today. Saturn with Venus and Mars, the South Node being trined by the Moon, Neptune, and Jupiter. So we could definitely be experiencing this relationship difficulties going on right now that we're navigating, or again, it really could have to do with the things that we are trying to produce, create, conceive, bring into this world right now, maybe bringing just up against some difficulties, being tested, our limits being tested, our endurance being tested, our capacity to sustain in the face of difficulty being tested in this energy. And it's also interesting because we have the Earth today at 11 degrees of Libra. And that Sabian symbol is a professor peering over his glasses at his students. So it's even saying sort of the state of things on the ground today. We may just feel like we're being tested in some type of a way in this energy. There's also a very strange sort of dynamic going on between the Moon, Jupiter, and Neptune and Pisces Pisces, really wanting us to sort of like relax and meditate and envision and align with God, align with spirit, just really more dreamy, emotional, very emotional energy today. But with Mercury and the sun coming into conjunction in Aries, this is also like sort of very like get up and go and like energized, mentally inspired, like quick communication, things going back and forth, like a very active energy as well. So there is definitely kind of a strange dynamic going on today between this release process that we're going through, and also this very active dynamic energy that we have being represented simultaneously. We may just be feeling like we're sort of being tested today, especially with the Earth at that degree and Saturn in between Venus and Mars. It's also interesting because Mars is the ruler of Aries, and Mars is moving into conjunction with Saturn right now. And I'm actually going to talk more about this in a minute, but with Mars ruling Aries while we have Mercury and the sun in Aries coming into the conjunction with Saturn, we also may feel like restricted or stifled or held back in some type of way in terms of the progress that we're trying to make right now. Yeah, definitely testing themes coming up, because even when we break it down in that way, looking at Mercury and the sun, like we may want to take action to communicate, to be more active, to move forward towards something. But with Mars ruler of Aries in the conjunction to Saturn, yeah, we may just be feeling tested in some type of a way today. I don't know, but that's what it looks like. Now, we also have today, the sun is coming to 11 degrees of Aries. That Sabian symbol is the ruler of a nation. Chiron was actually at this degree for quite a while recently. And I feel like on a personal level today, in the context of this energy, we're being called to stand in our power for some reason, or to take the lead in our own lives in some type of a way, to truly like stand in some type of authority, or just take ownership of our own circumstances and really be the authority of our own experiences, or just hold some type of power about us today in the way that we are navigating our reality, and to really, let it be known that we are in control of our own circumstances at this point in time in one way or another, the ruler of a nation. I feel like in the context of this energy, yeah, like on a personal level, as we are releasing these things, as we are gaining this awareness, as we are being pushed to pursue this hero's journey, again, Chiron is in the sign of Aries, the pioneer, taking action, self-initiative, and really taking this mission on, the sign of the warrior, Aries. Like our mission this year is this hero's journey. And with the sun at that degree, the ruler of a nation, I feel like this is telling us like it's really time to take back leadership, ownership, rulership of our own circumstances, and begin to come at and to view what is happening to us and what we're navigating from a place of internalized power and this, expanded spiritual awareness, and this simultaneous emotional release of these false illusions or false narratives of ourselves that may have been holding us back in the past. Now, on a more like global macro level, this could definitely, the ruler of a nation, this could definitely be emphasizing or putting an emphasis today in the headlines, whatever, on leaders and bosses, especially with it being in conjunction to Chiron. This could be health issues in regards to leaders, rulers, people of authority that we're hearing about in the news. And it also could pertain specifically to the head in one way or another, because we're talking about the sign of Aries. So interesting there. There could be some type of wounding or health issues, especially in terms of the head, that may be surfacing in one way or another with the sun at this degree, leaders, bosses, authority figures. Just wanted to put that out there, but generally an emphasis on world leaders going on today. Chiron is at the degree 13 Aries right now. A bomb which failed to go off is now safely hidden from discovery. So this could also be talking about some type of crisis being averted on some type of global or geopolitical level. But also now let's bring back in the fact that Mars is the ruler of Aries, and we're talking about the sun at this degree in Aries, and Mars being in the conjunction with Saturn ruling bosses, leaders, authority figures in the sign of Aquarius as well. There could definitely be some clashes of power going on in some type of a big way today, especially with the moon in the conjunction to Jupiter and all these overblown emotions, projections as well. At least there may be some like big projections going on today of clashes of power, but with Mars coming into the conjunction with Saturn, while the sun is at this specific degree today, conjunct Chiron in the sign of Aries, we could definitely see some things just heating up. And this is also talking about like older, very long-term established power dynamics and like the new, more youthful energy. Saturn and Mars. These are both, this conjunction between Saturn and Mars coming up could get very heated. These are, according to like the more ancient astrology, both great malefics coming together. And when Mars and Saturn come together, things can get a little bit unpredictable and a little bit ugly sometimes. But Mars also represents like the youth and what's new and the revolution and the more youthful generations of things, the fresher leadership qualities, while Saturn is like what's been around for a very long period of time, like long-standing orders of authority and power and rules and stuff like that coming together in the sign of Aquarius. There's definitely likely with this aspect to be some heated like confrontations that are happening between a younger version and an older version that are pushing us in towards like the new revolution, the new wave, this Aquarian energy in one way or another. But again, I'm bringing this up because, well, it's a thing we're going to be talking about more, but also I just find it interesting with the sun at this degree and, what is unfolding generally right now. There could be some just big time clashes of power going on in those types of regards today. So let's talk about the Sabian symbols real quick, and then we are going to do some cards and wrap this up. So I already talked about the ruler of a nation, probably in excess, probably didn't need to talk about it that much, but I guess that's what came out and I did. I also talked about the professor peering over his glasses at his students. This is, again, bringing up these themes, Saturn very much at play in the energy today. We may feel like we're being tested. We may feel like we're going through some type of karmic lesson right now. But again, whatever we're going through right now is trying to help us break through, go on this hero's journey so that we can really become the best versions of ourselves and begin interacting in a much more beneficial way with the reality around us. Mars today, though, is at 19 degrees of Aquarius, and that Sabian symbol is a forest fire quenched. So there may actually be, and Saturn also represses things, so there may actually be a sort of diminished like inspiration or fire or passion or like energy to be spurred into action in some type of way today. We may feel, again, like held back or like limited in our ability to act, or like we're being tested, or like we have to overcome something, sort of something like putting out our fire at this point in time. But again, it's in terms of, we're talking about this Chiron degree as well and the potential for these clashes of power. Chiron at that degree about the bomb which failed to go off and Mars at a forest fire quenched. Again, I feel like this could be talking about some type of crisis being averted in this energy as well. We also have, I just mentioned Chiron at the bomb which failed to go off degree. And the last degree I really want to say is that we have, even though the black moon is not in effect today, we have the black moon at 29 degrees of Gemini. The first mockingbird of spring sings from the treetops. And I do feel like this is a synchronistic, sort of significant placement for the black moon right now, especially in the context of the South Node energy, this release energy, the surrender of the past, this Chiron energy also that we have going on as we head out of this 2021 year, and this need to really overcome, heal, and integrate these shadows. That really is sort of what this energy, this release, this surrender, and this Chiron alchemization, transmutation of the lower frequencies into the higher ones is sort of representing. And with the black moon at that degree, the first mockingbird of spring sings from the treetops. I do feel like this is indicating that this is the process that we're in right now of transmuting these shadows, of releasing these negative feelings from the past so that we can really truly begin to move forward on this hero's journey in this new direction and really come back into the state of self-mastery that is helping to align us with the Aquarian frequencies that are coming in. So the first mockingbird of spring sings from the treetops. I feel like this is talking about that as we head into this new moon in Aries. This also, black moon at 29 degrees of Gemini. The black moon is about to move out of Gemini pretty much, right shortly after beginning this new astrological year. So I really feel like this is telling us, as we're closing out this year, that we are really going to be leaving the shadows of the past in the past as we head into this new spring energy, this new reset, this new astrological year that is setting up for us on Friday on the 1st. So that's what I have to say, you guys, today in terms of the energy that is coming from the astrology, the aspects that we have at play. Now let's talk about the tarot for a few minutes. Tarot time, everybody. Shuffling the deck this morning, asking God, Spirit, Universe, please clarify with some symbolism the energy that we're going on, that we're experiencing in the collective right now. And we definitely got, this sort of is a message that I might expect to see with the chart that we have at play today, with us being in this last few days of this Pisces energy. And the first card that came out of the deck was the Lovers. Now, this could go a couple different ways. This could be talking about genuine relationships and stuff that we're dealing with, considering we have Venus and Mars and Saturn in the midpoint of them. But I feel like also in the context of today's energy, this is talking about choices and decisions. And the second card that we had coming out of the deck is the Nine of Swords. And this card is talking about something that is stressing us out, something that is bothering us, difficulties that we're facing, things that are keeping us up at night, things that are just not allowing us to relax and to live our life in a way that brings us a sense of ease and comfort, like something just stressing us out. And then this card that came after that was the Ace of Swords in reverse. And then on the back of the deck, we had the Six of Wands in reverse. And when I read reversals, you guys, the fact that the cards come out tells me that this is the energy that is possible and that's available, but that just might be a little bit stagnant or stalled at the moment. So let's talk about what this means. Is interesting because this is like the third reading in a row, collective reading in a row, where the Six of, I think, maybe I missed a day, but where the Six of Wands has come out. But anyways, the context of this energy together. Now, like I said, this could be going a couple different ways, represented by the Lovers, represented by this expanded Pisces energy that we have going on today. But on one hand, we could be talking about these lessons in relationships, these karmic lessons in relationships, difficulties that we may be facing in relationships that could really be worrying us or stressing us or burdening us or keeping us up at night, having us sort of in a state of fear. Or this could be talking about having to make a decision, having to make a choice that is sort of keeping us in a state of fear. And what's going on with the Page of Swords, it's like we're only in this state of discomfort, the state of fear, because we're not looking at things from the right perspective, because we haven't we haven't seen the light. We haven't gotten the new inspiration. It hasn't clicked, or we haven't received the information that we really need to receive in order to really overcome the situation and just get over it or figure out what we need to do to get the best outcome. But we had the Six of Swords or the Six of Wands in reverse, and the Six of Wands, this is a card of victory over our circumstances and at the end of the day, winning. And so this is telling me that really we're just lacking a piece of information or a piece of insight or a piece of inspiration that we need to help us exit and actually gain victory over this scenario. And that's not really surprising, considering we do have Mercury combust the sun right now. And when Mercury's combust the sun, they say that we're still sort of missing a crucial piece of information. We're not exactly seeing the full picture because Mercury is burned in the rays of the sun, but we are going to have a Mercury Cazimi coming up when the Mercury comes into exact alignment with the sun, and that is a window of time when full clarity can come through. And then as Mercury passes the sun and moves through Aries, once Mercury gets out of combustion range with the sun, then we'll definitely begin to really start receiving these inspirations as this new moon in Aries cycle gets kicked off. And also still being in this Pisces cycle, we are still in the lunar cycle of Pisces for 2 more days, and with this emotional alignment and with this sort of push and pull between real expansive spiritual awareness and truth, and is it real, or am I just crazy, or am I operating in some type of an illusion, or maybe I should just stay in this illusion because I don't want to face the difficulties of this reality, or something like that going on with this sort of back and forth Pisces energy that can go, the two dynamics of this Pisces energy. We may just be still caught in some type of lack of full total awareness on some type of cognitive level that is turning the switch that is helping us to overcome these. Because look, these are both sword cards, these are both representing the mind and the ideas, and this is not a real circumstance that is necessarily causing this fear. This is these negative ideas, these negative thought patterns that are just circulating that and turning over and over that are causing this state of fear. And this is also the Page of Swords, this is also talking about the same energy, and it's just in reverse. So it's basically saying, you know, we get our mind right, we start focusing on the right things, we gain the piece of information or piece of insight that we've been lacking, and this is also what sets us on our victory, puts us back up on top of our horse, you know, has us feeling more secure and more stable, and like we've done the right thing, we've made the right choice. We are going to make the right choice in this scenario, or we are going to have victory over whatever circumstances are putting us in a state of fear right now. There's just an insight or an inspiration or a crucial like understanding or learning or communication that is lacking at the moment, that is making us feel like we've lost victory, like we're not winning, and that is causing us to, you know, be in this state of sleepless nights and like endless worry. But at the end of the day, it really just is that, you know, that piece of information that may be preventing us or worrying us about making some type of decision, or in regards to some type of relationship dynamic or partnership or situation that we have going on. But at the end of the day, with the Six of Wands being on the back of the deck, even though it may be in reverse right now, we're just feeling like we are losing. We're like, we think we're losing, but all it takes is a perspective change or a communication or a new way of looking at things or new information coming in, and that loss goes to like a sure win. So really, you know, really what this is saying is we have nothing to fear but fear itself. Victory is promised to us. We have the ability to navigate and to win whatever situation that, or whatever choice or whatever decision or whatever relationship dynamic that we're navigating right now. We just need to gain some information. We need to learn something. We need to hear something. We need to see something different. We need to flip our perspective. We're looking at it the wrong way. Our perspective is upside down. And that is the only reason why we feel like we are losing in the moment, apparently, according to what the cards are telling us for this collective energy. So that's sort of what we got going on today. As we are closing out this last couple days, it's not really a surprise to me that we may be struggling with some decision making with all of this Pisces energy going on right now. Mercury combusts the sun, Saturn in the middle of Venus and Mars. Things could be, we could feel like, and you know, Mars again ruling the sign of Aries, where the sun and Mercury are right now in the conjunction to Saturn. We may feel a little bit obstructed or blocked, or like we're facing some difficulties or some tests or some challenges, but it really is just requiring a change in perspective or learning something new that can alleviate our fears and help us make this decision. So that's what we got. Let's grab a Synchronicity card now. These cards are messages from God to just give us a little bit more information about, you know, what we need to make it through this day in the best way. This one is poking out and I feel like I should grab it. Okay. It says God will guide you. Of course. And that makes sense. With the moon today, our intuition, our soul callings, our soul urges in the conjunction with Neptune, the most spiritual planet, Jupiter, the planet of expansion, ruling Pisces as well, expanding this vastly spiritual connection. Spiritual intuition, connecting to God today really is where it's at. God will guide you. He who overcomes shall inherit all things. Revelations 20:14. Be a channel for good of God, which actually should not be hard today. Remember how I was saying in the beginning of this report, there's this like overflow of compassion and emotion and high heart, like love energy coming through today, as well as one of the potentials and octaves of this energy. That is what we need to attach to. That is what we need to be channeling today. Be a channel for the good of God in this energy. Be a channel for the good of God. Let life, love, harmony, and understanding of God flow through you. Praise God in the midst of you and know every problem is solved by God. When disharmony, discord, or disappointment appear, be assured God is guiding you through it and will reveal the way to achieve your goal. This could not be more relevant, better advice, information today in the context of this chart that we have going on, these aspects that we have going on, closing out this energy, perhaps these tests that we're facing or these difficulties that we're also maneuvering right now. With the moon, Jupiter, and Neptune in conjunction, we can be a channel for the good of God, and that love, that high heart, that compassion energy, and that really truly is going to be the best way to navigate this energy and also draw to us the information, the insight, the communication, whatever we need to learn or receive at this point in time to really ease our mind and help us make whatever decision that we're struggling with or gain victory over whatever circumstances that we are navigating right now. So you guys, that is what I have for my report today. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope I was able to bring you something that helps you as you're navigating your reality today. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked this video, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, share it with your friends if you think they'd be interested. Leave me comments, you guys. I absolutely love your comments. I love reading them. Thank you guys so much. I truly appreciate each and every one of you. I have a Facebook page, a Facebook group, an Instagram, a TikTok, and a website in my description box below if you're interested in any of that. And come back with me tomorrow, you guys. Going to be our last day of this 2021 astrological clock. We are resetting on Friday, so we are going to be wrapping things up tomorrow. You don't want to miss it, and I will see you here back then tomorrow here something. Okay, have a beautiful day, everybody. See you tomorrow. Bye.